Hello, my name's Kim and I'm the director of the Mickle Therapy Clinic in Auckland. Today I'd like to talk about what is chronic fatigue. Unfortunately, chronic fatigue is a very misunderstood condition, although it's in epidemic proportions around the world. And what I experience is many people who come and see me, they've tried many different things already and they've been to their doctor often, and unfortunately what they get told is we don't know the cause of chronic fatigue. There is no cause, we don't understand it, and therefore there is no solution. And many people go home feeling really despondent, obviously, because they don't understand what's going on, they desperately want to get well and they don't know what to do. Well, fortunately, Dr. Mickle, founder of Mickle Therapy, discovered that there are reasons for chronic fatigue, and this is what we do. We help people to understand these reasons. So first of all, just to talk about the different types of fatigue. Just like the word love in Greek has many different Greek words, there are many different types of fatigue. I'm not going to go into all of them, but let's just look at a couple. First of all, natural fatigue. Natural fatigue is the natural feeling of tiredness that we get at the end of the day when our body is signaling that it needs to rest and it needs to go to bed. There's nothing that, obviously that is quite normal. Then we have what we call chronic fatigue, which can come on at any time of the day or night and is not reduced by resting. So it doesn't matter how much people with chronic fatigue try to rest or say, like I did, oh well, if I just have a good night's sleep tonight, or I'll just have a nice weekend off, then we think, well, I should feel better at the end of that. But unfortunately what we find is that's not the case. And what we learn from that is that resting is not the solution for chronic fatigue. That's a big wake-up call for a lot of people, because most people have tried to get well by resting. I spent many months saying to myself, if I just have a good night's sleep, if I just have a good rest this weekend, then I'll feel better. And after 9 months of doing that, it was just getting worse and worse. So what is chronic fatigue? Well, chronic fatigue is actually not a lack of energy. That blew my mind when I first heard it. Chronic fatigue is not a lack of energy. Chronic fatigue is blocked energy. That's what chronic fatigue is. So what is this blocked energy? Well, very often it's blocked emotions, blocked emotional energy. So if you can just understand for a second that we have many layers to our being. We have our physical being, we have our mental being, our mental thoughts, and we have our emotions. So we're all of that. And scientists or quantum physicists have proven for many years now that we are just energy. All those things, all those layers of our being are energy. So emotions are energy, and whenever we have an emotion that we don't resolve, because it's energy, and one physical law is energy can never be destroyed, it can only be transformed or moved. That means that whenever we have an emotion that we don't deal with at that moment in time that we experience it, it will get stored by the body. And little by little that energy will start to fill up inside our body, a bit like a big pot being filled up with water, and eventually that pot will get full. Now another useful analogy is to imagine that if you put all your energy into, all that energy that you weren't feeling, that was staying stuck inside your body, into a ping pong ball, and you tried to hold that ping pong ball underwater, what we will find, as you know, is that if you want to hold a ping pong ball underwater, you have to use effort. In other words, energy. So what we're doing is we've got this ping pong ball full of energy that we're holding inside of us, which is using an extra amount of energy to actually be kept inside of us, just like holding a ping pong ball underwater takes effort. So that's where all our energy is going. We're holding it all inside. And that's what people say, I'm holding it all inside. So in order to relieve this chronic fatigue, underneath which we have a whole raft of emotions, we're going to have to start looking at ourselves through a magnifying glass and really understanding what is going on at an emotional level. And a lot of this will be being missed, will not be being seen. And so what I do is help people to understand what is really going on inside their body at an emotional level. Because unfortunately, these emotions, even though they may be going on, we don't know that they're happening. So the next time that you feel tired, you have a bout of chronic fatigue, instead of thinking I have to rest, which is a sort of a natural thing, but unfortunately not the correct answer, you might like to ask yourself, well, what am I actually feeling right now? What's going on in my life? And what am I feeling? What feelings might I be stuffing down or ignoring? And then acknowledge those feelings, and then do something about that situation. Now that will be the topic of another blog, but for this blog I just wanted to explain that chronic fatigue is not a lack of energy, it's blocked energy. You have masses of energy inside of you, it's just all blocked. Now, doesn't that make you feel just a little bit better?